So Sam, welcome to Manchester City. We're so excited to have you join the club. And you are arriving to the club from a really decorated career in both the NWSL and the US women's national team. So knowing all of that, what about Manchester City really appealed to you as the next step in your career?
There's just so much going on in the world right now, and when I heard that I might have the chance to come play for Man City, my ears like really perked up because I know that just the club overall is just one of the top clubs in the world, and I have followed the men's team for a long time, and I hear such good things about the women's side and all of the facilities and just the way the club is run. So when I first heard about it, I was really, really excited and wanted to see if it would all work out, and luckily it did. So I'm really just excited to come see the city, be a part of such an incredible club, and hopefully help the team achieve some goals during this upcoming season. And I think it's a really cool and unique and exciting opportunity for me in my career.
So what did you actually know of the FAWSL, and what excited you about actually playing in the league?
Yeah, a lot of things about the league have excited me. I've heard from a couple teammates of mine who have played in the FAWSL that it's just a little bit different from the NWSL, and that it's a good way to expose yourself to a little bit of a different style, or like a different tactical side of the game. So I think that I've been in the NWSL for 5 or 6 years now, and what I'm excited about this opportunity is that I'm going to just be exposed to maybe a different style. It's going to be really good, I think, for my development to be exposed to something new and to kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit. And I'm excited to hopefully have an impact, and I really just want to help the team win and see if I can be a positive part of the team.
hmm When you were trying to sort of make your decision, what kind of discussions did you have with our manager, Gareth Taylor? And what about any of those discussions might have excited you about the challenge?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I'm so excited about coming is because I want to continue to improve as a player. I really just want to become the best player that I can be, and in talking to the staff, I feel like they are excited about that possibility as well.
So obviously you've had a great career with the USWNT so far, and I'm wondering your opinion on going to play in Europe and how that will help sort of grow the national team back in the US.
I think that just having this new opportunity and experience, and hopefully adding some depth to my own game. One of my goals, obviously, is to continue to play for the national team. But it's such a competitive environment that I know that every day is like another tryout, and I'm competing for playing time and for even a spot with so many talented players from America. So I feel like I said, exposing myself to this different style, or getting a little bit outside my comfort zone, and really trying to challenge myself by being exposed to some new things, I hope will help my game and will help keep me on the national team. And then I think even on top of that, if I'm trying to help the national team win and I can be a little bit better or sharper or a little bit more tactically aware, I hope that that can help that team win as well.
Historically, it seems like a lot of the women's national team players in the U.S. have maybe been encouraged to stay playing domestically. Why do you think that's changing a little bit with more players taking this opportunity to go abroad?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the game is changing so much. I think that the women's game has come such a long way, and I feel like it's really exciting for a lot of people to get to experience playing soccer in another country, especially a country like England and a city like Manchester, where soccer and football is really like so much of the culture, and people are so invested. So I think it's exciting to think about living someplace like that, and think about being exposed every day 24/7 to the game, and just really living that lifestyle. And the players and teammates that I've talked to who have experienced playing in another country have said just that. I think that you just really become so invested in it, and the culture becomes part of you, and that it's a really cool part of your career to get to kind of live and breathe soccer all the time.
To the club, you're bringing a really unique experience, which is that you're coming as a World Cup champion. And that 2019 World Cup was such a special moment for football, soccer fans in this country. And There's one moment back in March, I think the final replayed on TV, and you were a social presenter for Fox Soccer. And there was a moment that they replayed where you were picking up the jersey for the first time with the fourth star. And it really struck me and a lot of other fans. What was going through your mind at that moment?
Yeah, I think that when I first saw it, I have like looked at that jersey my whole life as kind of like a piece of history. And for most of my life and soccer career, there was two stars on the jersey. And then I watched the 2015 team get that third star, and seeing the fourth star for the first time and realizing that I had been a part of putting that there and that it was going to be there forever. I kind of like had this like flashback of my whole life and realizing that I was a part of history, and that this star that I helped put there would be on this jersey forever for the whole next generation.
Between the 2015 and 2019 World Cups, you had some setbacks from injury and then you bounced back. So how meaningful was it for you to get called up to that 2019 squad after that road back?
Yeah, I did have a knee injury in 2017, and I think it taught me so much. And it was really difficult at times trying to come back from that, and for a while not really feeling like I was playing like myself. So even to just make the World Cup roster was a huge relief, because there were a lot of times I was uncertain. And again, just because that roster is so competitive, and you know that at any time there is someone knocking on the door and waiting to take your spot. So on one hand, it definitely brings out the best in you, and you have to do your best in order to make it. But I think that coming back from injury and overcoming a couple things like that to make the roster was it was a something I'm really proud of now. It was definitely a battle, but I think that anybody who's been injured will say that you definitely come back stronger.
And in this last World Cup, obviously, you faced a bunch of your now current teammates when they played for England. So what impressed you about their performance with the England squad, and what excites you most about joining them at the club level?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think players like Ellen White, I'm really excited to maybe get a chance to play with, and I have a lot of respect for Jill Scott. I know that we're both tall and like going to be in the midfield together, so I think it will be really fun to play against somebody like that. I have so much respect for her and just the longevity of her career, and how she's played at such a high level for a long time. And I definitely see some similarities just in our stature and wanting to be aerial presences on the field.
Who were some of your soccer or football idols when you were growing up?
Yeah, well, for the women's side, I obviously grew up watching the U.S. women's national team, so I loved Mia Hamm. I loved Michelle Akers. And then as I got older, I mean, Abby Wambach, who I actually got to play with a couple times, that was a really cool experience. And then I think I just, as I got older and older and started watching more men's soccer, obviously everybody loves watching Messi and Ronaldo, but even more recently, as I've like become a little bit more aware of like soccer in the whole world, I love watching Kevin to come, and I was like, oh my god, I have to go.
NWSL Challenge Cup, which just concluded. You were in the bubble there with your sister, who plays for the Dash, and she was a champion of that tournament. So for those who are just getting to know you, what has it been like for you to have a sister that also plays at such a high level? How has that helped you kind of develop and push your game further?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Christy and I obviously grew up playing together, and we have played for the past several years in the NWSL together. And I was so proud of her and her team when they just won the Challenge Cup. I think that growing up, we really challenged each other. I always had a training partner, and I was always kind of chasing after her and trying to be as good as she was. And I think that her journey kind of came before all of my steps that I took, and it really validated what I wanted to do. Like when she first got called into the national team, it's such a lofty goal, and for a lot of kids, it feels out of reach and impossible. And seeing Christy accomplish all of these things just a little bit before me really made me feel like I could do it too. So I think that was really important for both of us to have each other growing up, and to even now. I keep looking over there because she's right over there on my couch. We having like the lifestyle that we have, where we live away from home and sometimes from our partners and our families. I think like it's so hard for some people to understand that, and to have someone in your family who understands it is really special. And it's definitely kept us really close, and we go out and train together whenever we're home. So she's been a huge part of my career, obviously, in my life, and she's one of my best friends now. So I think we've both been really lucky to have each other.
Uh-huh. So what advice has she given you about going abroad, and what kind of motivation has she given you to take this next step?
Yeah, well, Christy's played abroad actually a couple different times. So she had awesome experiences. And I think that anytime there's an opportunity to go and have a new experience, and when she's done it, it's usually been in her off seasons. So just really continuing to develop your game in a time where you might be like struggling to find training otherwise. I think it's always just a great opportunity, and she's been so supportive of this decision to come, and I hope that she's able to come visit, or I don't know, maybe we'll cross paths somehow, but she's been so supportive and thinks it's a great idea, and she's had really good experiences herself.
What kind of contact have you had with some of the other North American women around the FAWSL right now, and what kind of advice have they given you about coming to England, what to take to Manchester, or anything like that?
Yeah, well, so I've never played with Janine Becky, but my sister has, and I feel like we kind of like have a lot of mutual friends. So she reached out to me, and I was asking her, like, I'm trying to pack a suitcase, like I only have so much room, like what do I really need to bring? And she was super helpful and basically just said, you can bring yoga pants and sweatpants and sweatshirts. And I was like, perfect, that sounds just like what I would want to be wearing anyways. So I think I'm gonna definitely need to use her as a resource, and I'm excited to like have a friendly face when I get over there. But I think that it will be great, and hopefully like everybody will help me out.
They definitely will.
I'm wondering if you've had any specific conversation with Carly Lloyd about her time at Man City, and if so, what she had to say about her experience.
Yeah, Carly was so positive about her experience. She has always raved about the facilities, and I just remember when she was there, even just her telling us how much access she had, and how she could just go out extra in the afternoon and work on anything else she felt like she needed to work on, like free kicks, and then she'd go take an ice bath, and you eat on site. So I remember her just absolutely raving about the facilities, and I think that her experience was obviously a great one. So I'm really hopeful and confident that mine is similar, and I think that I am really excited to like see the facilities and see what the grounds are like, because I just hear such good things.
Well, you're arriving and you're basically going to hit the ground running because the squad is already training. So thinking about yourself as a player, what kind of targets do you set for yourself for this season? What are you hoping to achieve with the club when you arrive?
Yeah, well, it's been such a whirlwind the past couple weeks, like having the Challenge Cup, and getting home here, and kind of making this decision, and now getting ready to move. So I feel like I've been so focused on the short term, like getting there and having to quarantine, and then like meeting the girls and just getting kind of like my feet under me. But thinking about the long term and the whole season, I mean, I would love for the team to win the league. I don't know if I'm just looking too far. I obviously need to like talk to the team and see what the team's goals are, and the goals of the club in general, but I would imagine that that's up there. So I think personally I would love to play a lot. I know that this will be a really competitive roster, and I'm going to have to earn every minute that I want to get. So I want to get there and perform well and help the team win games and help the team win some trophies, and I hope that I can be a positive part of that.
When Man City was last on tour in the U.S. last year, the City squad played against the Courage. So you actually played against us. And I remember the match had a really long lightning delay. So that stood out. But I'm wondering, what did you notice of the team at that time? What kind of stood out for you? What impressed you?
Yeah, I think that the ICC tournament was such a cool opportunity for both our team and all the international teams that came over. And I remember playing Man City, and before the lightning delay, we had been losing 1-0. And I remember it was kind of like right after the World Cup. So I think I actually got subbed out during the lightning delay. And even just watching the game, I mean, I think the team is obviously like awesome, has such world-class players on both sides of the ball. And I think that the game was really competitive and really fun to be a part of, but then even to just watch the end. And I definitely noticed like the technical ability of all of the players. It's so obvious that a lot of these women have just grown up with the ball at their foot all the time and are so technically sharp. And then I think too, their tactical awareness, always knowing if there's a player near them, where to turn, where the open passes. So those are some of the things I'm kind of hoping I can grow in my game as well. That just kind of tactical awareness and kind of like that. You can tell they've just grown up playing and watching so much soccer because it's such part of the culture.
So Sam, we're really excited to have you join us, and we can't wait to see what you bring to Man City. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to get there.